Standing at 6'2" and carrying more than 5 decades of film and television history on his shoulders, Sam Elliott remains remarkably unbroken by time. While age inevitably leaves its mark, he seems to have paid the bare minimum, retaining his unmistakable deep voice, iconic mustache, and commanding presence. Audiences remain endlessly captivated. Whether revisiting classics like Mask and Roadhouse or embracing later triumphs such as 1883 and A Star is Born, fans continue to admire his unwavering commitment to his craft. Yet, paradoxically, that success carries with it Sam Elliott's greatest heartbreak. Despite a career defined by consistency and excellence, his first and only Academy Award nomination didn't arrive until he was 74 years old. That late recognition hardly reflects the depth of his talent, especially considering how early his passion for acting began. Born on August 9, 1944, at Sutter Memorial Hospital in Sacramento, California, he was christened Samuel Pack Elliott. His father, Henry Nelson Elliott, worked as a predator control specialist for the U.S. Department of the Interior, a dangerous profession that demanded resilience, courage, and discipline. As a result, Sam's father was a hardened man. If one might expect his mother to soften that environment, they would be mistaken. Glennie Sparks Elliott was a former state-level diving champion before becoming a high school physical education teacher. Discipline and self-control defined both parents. Raised in a household shaped by structure, restraint, and high expectations, Sam learned early what was demanded of him. Adding to that influence, both parents were deeply connected to the Western lifestyle, tracing their roots back to El Paso, Texas. Though the family lived in Sacramento during Sam's childhood, the values of the frontier ran deep in their home. Sam's father spent long stretches away, tracking wild animals. But when he was present, he made sure his children understood his principles. Work with your hands, live modestly, act with integrity, and above all, distrust people who chased dreams. Unbeknownst to him, his own son was quietly becoming one of those dreamers. Sam fell in love with movies early on. Possessing a vivid imagination, the first time he sat in a local theater, something clicked. Long before adolescence, he was already envisioning himself as an actor. When his family later relocated to Portland, Oregon, after his father's transfer, Sam once again found the local cinema and became a regular. He attended Madison High School as a freshman before transferring to David Douglas High School, where he spent his final 3 years. There, he distinguished himself as one of the top prep hurdlers in the state. Academics, however, never held his interest. He preferred solitude and nature, often retreating into the woods to think. Acting remained at the center of his thoughts. When he finally shared his ambitions with his mother, she encouraged him to follow his heart. His father's response was far less supportive. To him, entertainment was unstable, no foundation on which to build a secure life. He urged Sam to pursue government work or another reliable career, and repeatedly pushed him toward earning a college degree. Their conversations about the future often ended in tension. Sam later recalled one particularly blunt remark from his father: "You've got a snowball's chance in hell of having a career in Hollywood." Sam knew the words weren't spoken out of cruelty, but realism. His father had never graduated from college and wanted his son to achieve what he never could. Wanting to appease him, Sam agreed to pursue higher education, though his heart remained elsewhere. He enrolled at the University of Oregon in the fall, hoping to join legendary track coach Bill Bowerman's program. Later, Sam admitted, "I had visions of being a man of Oregon, but I didn't have what it took, and I was never academically inclined. I came down here, messed around, and got booted out." After 2 years, he left, and enrolled at Clark College in Vancouver, Washington, continuing his athletic career in the 120-yard high hurdles and 360-yard intermediate hurdles. Even then, acting found its way back into his life when he appeared in the school's production of Guys and Dolls. After earning his 2-year degree, Sam returned once more to the University of Oregon, pledging the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity and hoping, again, to finish a 4-year degree. But academics continued to elude him. Then tragedy struck. Sam's father died suddenly of a heart attack in Portland at just 54 years old. Sam was only 18. "That killed me," he later said. The two had never reconciled over Sam's career ambitions. His father passed away believing his son was set on the wrong path. What haunted Sam most was that his father never lived to see where that path ultimately led. That loss became a wound that never fully healed, the moment that broke something inside him, and the turning point that changed everything. Sam ultimately left school behind and moved to Los Angeles to chase an acting career. Reflecting later on his decision to defy his father's wishes, he said, "My dad was a realist. He was a hard worker. He had a work ethic that I modeled my own after, and I thank him for that every day. It was a choice rooted not in rebellion, but in respect, carrying his father's values into a very different world." After arriving in Los Angeles, Sam signed on as a contract player with 20th Century Fox, and soon landed his first television role on the police drama Felony Squad during the 1968-1969 season. To support himself, he worked construction while studying acting, and he also served in the California Air National Guard's 146th Airlift Wing, often called the Hollywood Guard, stationed at Van Nuys Airport before the unit later relocated to the Channel Islands. In 1969, Sam made his film debut in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The movie also starred Catherine Ross, the woman who would later become his wife and lifelong partner. Though they would not reconnect romantically until 9 years later, their paths first crossed on this set. Sam's role, however, was almost invisible. Card player number 2, seated silently at a poker table without a single line of dialogue. Still, he approached even that moment with humility, treating it as an opportunity to observe and learn from the stars around him. That mindset defined the next decade of his career. Sam steadily took on guest appearances and supporting roles, committing himself to the long game. During this time, he grew his hair long and allowed his mustache to become fuller, an unconventional look that raised eyebrows but felt authentic to him. Leading roles were scarce, yet he was increasingly cast when productions needed cowboys, soldiers, or rugged authority figures. Slowly, the name Sam Elliott began to stick. His first real breakthrough arrived with the television film I Will Fight No More Forever, in which he portrayed Charles Wood. The following year, he starred in Lifeguard, playing a beach lifeguard caught between a love of freedom and the weight of social responsibility. While neither project was a major commercial hit, both earned critical notice. Reviewers saw something distinctive: a performer who spoke little, yet conveyed depth and emotion through restraint and presence alone. The 1980s proved far kinder. After years of supporting work, Sam landed a defining role in Mask. He played Gar, the devoted partner of Rusty Dennis, portrayed by Cher, and the compassionate stepfather to Rocky, a boy living with a rare craniofacial condition. The role demanded emotional vulnerability, a sharp contrast to the stoic characters Sam had often portrayed. At the time, some critics had begun to suggest that his range was limited. Sam was determined to prove otherwise. Behind the scenes, he worked carefully to build genuine emotional bonds with his co-stars, particularly with young actor Eric Stoltz, to ensure their on-screen relationship felt real. The effort paid off. When Mask was released, critics widely acknowledged it as a turning point. Sam Elliott was no longer just a rugged presence. He was a deeply versatile actor, capable of quiet emotional power. That revelation opened new doors, though Sam remained selective and always seeking roles with substance. Notably, he refused to abandon the masculine, weathered archetype that had first defined him. When Roadhouse arrived in 1989, audiences embraced him once again. The 1990s marked a return to westerns, a homecoming fans warmly welcomed. Sam both produced and starred in Conager, adapted from a Louis L'Amour novel. His portrayal of the title character earned him Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, further cementing his status as a defining figure in the genre. He followed this with acclaimed roles in historical epics such as Gettysburg and Tombstone, each praised for their scope and authenticity. In Buffalo Girls, Sam portrayed another legendary Western figure, Wild Bill Hickok, earning yet another round of Emmy and Golden Globe nominations. But the crowning cultural moment of the decade came from an unexpectedly small role. In The Big Lebowski, Sam appeared briefly as the Stranger, a mysterious narrator whose warm, gravelly voice framed the film. Despite limited screen time, the performance became iconic, leaving one of the most enduring impressions of his career. Decades later, the Stranger remains a revered figure in American cinema. All of Sam's contributions to the Western genre culminated in 2007, when he was inducted into the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum's Hall of Great Western Performers. Then came 2017. A new generation, familiar only with the legend of Sam Elliott, discovered him anew in The Hero. In the film, he portrayed an aging Western star grappling with illness, regret, and the slow fading of his legacy, a role that felt deeply reflective and almost autobiographical. In many ways, it was Sam Elliott confronting his own myth and reminding audiences why that myth was earned in the first place. Sam later admitted that many of the film's most emotional moments were, in truth, him simply playing himself. That confession offered fans a rare glimpse into the quiet sadness he had been carrying for years. Unknowingly, The Hero sparked a powerful career resurgence, one that began when Sam was already 73 years old. Just a year later, he appeared in the remake of A Star is Born. Acting alongside Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, a 74-year-old Sam Elliott portrayed Bobby Maine, the older brother of Cooper's character, caught between love, frustration, and helplessness as he watched his sibling self-destruct. Sam poured decades of lived experience into the role. The pain he conveyed felt so real, it seemed to reach through the screen. Audiences felt it, critics acknowledged it, and social media erupted with calls for long-overdue recognition. That performance earned Sam Elliott his first and only Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. The renewed spotlight also drew attention to another project he had been quietly working on, the television series The Ranch. A younger generation of viewers quickly embraced him, praising his presence and authenticity. Then, in 2021, Sam starred in the Western miniseries 1883, a performance that earned him even more acclaim, along with a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance, by a male actor in a miniseries. Even outside of acting, Sam Elliott's presence is unmistakable. Chances are, you've heard his voice more times than you realize. From commercials to major documentaries, his distinctive baritone is everywhere, arguably making him one of the most recognizable voiceover artists in the country. While that voice is undeniably unique, his continued success also comes from something rarer in Hollywood: integrity. Despite spending more than 5 decades in the industry, Sam has remained largely untouched by scandal. something many consider nearly impossible. In interviews, he has openly acknowledged that he didn't avoid Hollywood's darker side. He spoke candidly about what he described as casting couch encounters, moments when powerful figures attempted to leverage roles in exchange for sexual favors. Sam admitted he was approached, but he refused. Even if it meant losing opportunities, he would not sacrifice his dignity. As he put it, he asked himself what would remain of him if he traded his self-respect for fame. When the Me Too movement gained momentum, Sam voiced his support, saying he understood the pain many had endured and why it was vital for victims to be heard. He also credited fatherhood as one of the forces that helped keep him grounded. Sam's personal life has been defined by remarkable longevity. When he reunited with Catherine Ross years after their first meeting, she had already been married 4 times. Those marriages, combined, lasted less than 5 years. When Sam became her 5th husband, she became his first and only wife. Their marriage has now endured for more than 4 decades, making it one of the longest-running unions in Hollywood. Their greatest shared joy is their daughter, Cleo Rose Elliott. Unlike her famous parents, Cleo chose a path in music, a decision Sam and Catherine fully supported. Still, their family life has not been without hardship. At one point, Cleo adopted a free-spirited lifestyle that strained her relationship with her mother. That tension eventually escalated into a deeply troubling incident. According to court documents filed by Catherine Ross, Cleo became increasingly volatile, verbally abusive, and threatening. On the day of the incident, she allegedly blocked her mother from leaving the house, kicked a door, and stabbed her in the hand with a pair of scissors. Though the injury was not life-threatening, Ross feared for her safety and filed for a temporary restraining order. The media seized on the story, a situation Sam desperately wanted to avoid. He believed the matter was private and should remain within the family. True to his nature, he refused to engage publicly, issuing no statements and declining all commentary. Eventually, the matter was resolved privately. Cleo apologized, the restraining order was withdrawn, and the relationship between mother and daughter gradually healed. Another moment Sam would have preferred to ignore came in 2023, when false rumors of his death spread rapidly online. Sensational videos, particularly on YouTube, claimed the actor had died at 79. Condolences poured in. Sam, however, made no effort to correct the hoax. In 2025, very much alive at 81, Sam took on a significant role in Taylor Sheridan's television series, Landman, portraying the father of Billy Bob Thornton's character. Critics praised the performance for its depth, and co-stars noted his unwavering professionalism and dedication on set. Through acting and voiceover work, Sam has built an estimated net worth of $20 million. Not bad for the son of a predator control specialist and a physical education teacher. He and his wife live in a seaside home in Malibu, maintain property in Oregon's Willamette Valley, and, following his mother's passing in 2011 at the age of 96, Sam also took ownership of his childhood home in Northeast Portland. Away from the screen, Sam Elliott still lives by the cowboy code: quiet strength, integrity, and loyalty. Very little has changed over the years. He's simply a bit wealthier now. And one thing feels certain: his father would be proud.